Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate you so much because of your great support. News are just in, as we are being told, that the government of William Samoei Ruto wanapanga kuprint pesa. And when I look upon my research, I realized that the idea that William Ruto's government is coming up with is going to bring a lot of trouble in the Republic of Kenya. According to my research, is that in any case this government is going to adopt the criteria and also idea of printing money to themselves so that they can solve this issue of money crisis. I want to say that William Ruto is going to make our country to sink badly. As I was just realizing and also doing my research, I realized that if this country is going to print their own money without any certain regulation, then this is going to lead to something called hyperinflation. It's going to lead to hyperinflation, which could consequently erode the real value of the local currency. Pesa yetu itakuwa bure. And that is the direction that we are going to. In a situation like that, I want to give you an example of Zimbabwe, where the inflation rate of the country peaked rapidly, leading to hyperinflation forever decade. And I want to say this: if this government is going to adopt a criteria of printing their own money without any kind of regulation, I want to say this is going to bring a lot of panic among investors, and number two, the public in general. Because the value of a shilling will be useless. So the investors will not be so interested doing business in our country. And that is why some countries develop faster than other countries because of the strength of their shilling. I want to give you an example of a country called Kuwait. Ni nani anajua pesa ya Kuwait ni pesa mingi sana? Ni 4 times of dollar. 1 Kenya shillings represent 400 Kenya shillings of Kuwait. 400 Kenya shillings Kuwait na wajigambi na wako. Mbona tujaona hao watu wakijigamba? Because 1 shilling of Kenya represent 400 Kenya shillings. 1 shilling. Then 1 shilling, let me say something that you will understand. 1 shilling of Kenya represent $400 of Kuwait. Then 1 Kenya shillings represent 100, and $1 represent 100 Kenya shillings. So you can see a scenario that Kenya we are in. The only option that this government is having is to just to depend on borrowing, just like other and previous administration. And if they cannot raise enough money, then the alternative is to borrow. Nothing less, nothing can be added to that. Another means of raising funds is to reduce government expenditure. Simple. Which are not surfaced in the current state. We've not seen any kind of course, reducing the government expenditure. But again, when you look at the economists, they are encouraging and also telling William Ruto, if you want to make your government to succeed, number one, you must borrow. Number two, you must reduce the government expenditure. Because I saw a certain picture where just only 6 months, hii 6 months peke yake yenye hii serikali imekuwa kwa ofisi, they've used about 365 billion Kenyan shillings. 365 billion Kenya shillings. Which almost they're using 4 million per day. 4 million per day. And in the period of 6 months, they have used 365 billion Kenya shillings. When you look at that, then ladies and gentlemen, I want to confirm to you that at times, the country currency symbolizes a unit of measurement and medium of exchange, and hence this has to be backed up by value, of otherwise it will lead to a lot of money circulation, chasing few goods. That is whatever is going to happen. If a country's currency symbolizes a unit of management and medium of exchange, and hence this has to be backed up by value, or otherwise it will lead to a lot of money circulation, then they should not come out to print the money. I realize that according to the economists, they are coming out to affirm that the country's crisis was a result of the maturing debt and the slow economy owing to the drought situation and post-pandemic period. But the simple question that we are asking, when Uhuru Kenyatta was there was a pandemic, there was a drought, but he paid people salaries. And some development continued. And they continued also to pay their debts. So we need to get the economy up and to run so that people who are positively making a contribution on the governance will be able to give tax to the government. But if you cannot stabilize the economy, to stabilize the economy is just a story for them, then I want to say it will be difficult for them. So I want to say that if these people will decide to print money, the inflation is going to be so terrible in our country. So we'll be having money in our pockets, but bei ya vitu itakuwa juu. Utajikuta huko na 10,000 Kenya shillings, but unaenda kwa market unanunua commodity moja, hakuna benefit. It's like Uganda. A pencil ununua na 8,000. So hiyo ni pesa gani? Penseli peke yake hivi, one pencil 8,000 Kenya shillings. If you give a Ugandan 1,500 Kenya shillings is worth 55,000 Kenya shillings. And today when you go to a supermarket with 1,000 shillings, you can just buy a few commodities in a supermarket. But when you are having Ugandan currency, you will find that you are having 55,000 Kenyan shillings, huge amount of notes, but it's useless. That is whatever this government is trying to do. So we as Kenyans, we are saying no, let them not print the money with their own concept, because I believe that there are certain regulations that are there in place to ensure that countries should not come out just to print their money the way they want. Yes, for example, like Zimbabwe. They printed their money, but as we speak, their money does not have value. Even despite of them coming out rapidly towards the economy, it's not appealing at all. So ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts towards Kenya now being advised to print their own money. Is it a good idea? Because according to me, it is not a good idea. This is going to bring and cause inflation in our country. Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Bye bye. Till we meet on another video.